to one of the most mind-blowing ancient cities and religious sites in the world. Man, check this out. Welcome to Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Picture this, right? It's the 1830s. You're part of the colonial effort in Sri Lanka. And you keep hearing stories from the locals about a great past king who had his palace built up in the sky. It sounds more mythical than actually being real, you know? The stories don't sound believable. Well, 1831, Mr. Forbes set out on horseback in search for the great palace of King Kashyapa. And looking through the forest one day, the thick jungle, he found what could only be described as Sigiriya, the Lion's Rock. Now he tried to climb it, he tried to get to the top, but he couldn't make it up. It's 180 meters of straight granite cliff. It is crazy. And it wasn't until, I think, a few years later, someone came back, and with help from the local people who their names didn't get written in history, they finally made it to the top. And what lies up there, it was the first time it was ever recorded in our modern Western history. Unbelievable. What they found was the best example of ancient technology in terms of city layout. You can see it behind me. We're going to come back down here. Water irrigation systems that we have no idea how they still work today. This entire area, this is the western part of Sigiriya. It's actually the only part we've excavated. The whole east side, across, behind this rock, is mostly jungle now. You can see from the drone shots, it's just left untouched, just jungle, man. But what we've excavated and what we're walking along now is the western part, the water gardens. Most likely where King Kashyapa would have come to his palace 1,500 years ago, 1,500 years ago. Absolutely crazy, lad. Absolutely crazy. These are all drainage systems, like just the knowledge to know how to carve and turn the water channels so that it slows the water down, so that water's not just going crazy down here. There's fountains down there still running today. There's water still coming out. Unbelievable. There's a much more mystical story of Sigiriya, which is quite fascinating, because the mainstream archaeology report is that King Kashyapa built this 1,500 years ago after he took over the throne from his father and his brother, who he was worried his brother would come and hunt him down. It's not really the real story. If you look into it, King Kashyapa was sort of convinced to do this for many, many years. But yeah, he fled here for refuge, because obviously who's gonna come all the way up to get you, you know? Crazy as. 180 meters of straight granite, man. But what the first Europeans, the first Westerners reported here, it's only just the very surface. Like all of these stones, this is all white marble, and it goes everywhere. It goes the whole way up. We're gonna make our way up there. It's gonna be a long video, but it's gonna be fascinating. All of these bricks, all of these clay bricks. Hey, look at all the checkouts in this stone here. What are you talking about? What is this? There's heaps of weird things. Are we allowed to walk on the grass? I think so. Not sure, maybe not. Yeah, all these checkouts here. And this is everywhere, all across the site. That rock there, behind, has the same. Hundreds of checkouts into the stone, which is very, very strange. We don't know why, what they're all there for. There's way more stuff to show you as we climb and make our way to the top. It's gonna be a good video, man. And the legend is that King Kashyapa, he only really lived here for about 18 years. And then his brother, who got exiled to India, or went to India. Yeah, well, over the back too. I think we can walk here, it's just dirt, yeah? His brother finally returned with a big army. And King Kashyapa came down on his elephant and actually took his own life rather than be captured. And that was it, only inhabited for some 18 years. And then the brother, King Kashyapa's brother, gave this place back to the Buddhist monks. Because the Buddhist monks inhabited this area long before King Kashyapa built his palace. Yeah, look at these things. Like, what is this? What is this for? It almost looks like an excavator track in mud. That's like the pattern that an excavator makes. But this is everywhere, man. Like, so this one goes up and over that whole rock. And you're gonna see this across this whole site, like carved into granite. When our ancestors, when these people are supposed to be primitive, you know, hammers and chisels. It's unbelievable. There's stuff everywhere, guys. I'm gonna get like overwhelmed on what to look at. But yeah, once King Kashyapa ended his own life, yeah, the brother gave it back to the Buddhist monks, because Buddhism came to Sri Lanka some 3,000-ish years ago. It came down from India. And hopefully I'm allowed to go in here. Yeah, it came down from India. So there's Buddhist relics and stuff everywhere that date back some 3,000 years. So to think that there was Buddhist monks here in caves, but for some reason they just didn't go to the top, come on, it doesn't really make much sense. Every human sees something tall and wants to get to the top of it. You know, King Kashyapa probably just built over it. All right, let's keep going. Cool. Yeah, white marble. White marble. And there's no white marble mines here anyway. Very weird. There's more. Look at these carvings everywhere. Wow. What a place, man. As we make our way to the top has the biggest monolithic, largest granite water tank in the world. It is insane. This is like Ayers Rock in Australia, right? But if our indigenous built like an ancient palace, like what? That's crazy. What a wild spot, man. Probably take us a while. There's a cave down there. And you can see these drip lines. Hello. Like, check this out. This would have been covered in something, because this edge here, it's not natural. They've done that so that water doesn't run back in along the ceiling and destroy whatever was there, probably murals and paintings. But yeah, they've taken that edge out. It's like a drip line. Like in modern building, right? When you clad the house, you leave the cladding like 30, 40, 50 mil below the ceiling, below the eaves, like a drip line, so that water doesn't blow it back. The wind doesn't blow the water back on the ceiling. So because this is a palace, most people don't realize that this is a fortress. It's called, you know, the Lion's Fortress, the Lion's Rock, because of this huge, basically similar size scale to the Great Sphinx in Egypt. We'll see it when we get up there. It's called that because that was supposedly a lion. But because it's a fortress and a palace, it was extremely defended. And you'll see the defenses as we make our way up. You obviously have the natural defenses, the boulders. All the water tanks and the water fountains were one defense because that whole area could be flooded. You can see it from the drone, surrounded by a moat, and they could flood the whole palace grounds. So it's not just a palace, like it's a city. Kashyapa moved the city here. This whole area is like a small city, surrounded in a moat, layer 1 of defense, filled with crocodiles back then. The moat, you can bet, you could place money that would have been filled with crocodiles and crazy animals. Could be flooded at any time in case of an invading army because of the irrigation system here. Wow, look at these stones. Wow, man. And then as you'll see, when we get higher, they have these massive stones that are able to be pushed down. You'll see it soon. Look at the amount of work, man. My God, look at all the clay bricks. It looks like a wall probably with the quality of the camera. That just looks like a solid wall, but they're all individual bricks. And we have no idea how they even got to the top back in the day. We have no stairs or anything. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. We're making our way up to the first platform where I think the Lion's Rock is. But if you just stop for a minute and look up, there's more of those carvings there. That wall, we'll explore it later when we come down. That's the famous mirror wall. I'll explain it later. But that's not natural. All of these caves, these huge cutouts into the cliff. And like along here, that roof is actually flat, almost like it's supposed to be a roof with, there's another drip line. So there would have been something there. Whether, obviously that's the old path there, but it almost looks like there was another path there. Man, there's so much stuff to see. Wow. What? That's like a whole cut. I wonder if we've done that recently because of dangerous or something. That's been cut. That's a huge chunk out of the granite. Huh. Interesting. It might get a little bit windy, just letting you know. I am on top of a bloody 180-meter rock. So it is what it is. Now, I'm not very educated on the mythical aspects of ancient Buddhist and Hindu texts, but oh wow, here's one of the defenses. This is crazy. A lot of people miss this. We can't get close because it's fenced off. But look at this. I'm probably gonna have to video it on my phone. This rock here is absolutely huge, this granite slab. And it's been propped, it's almost been propped up. I'll zoom in on my phone for you. It's almost been propped up. And that is what people suggest as being another layer of defense. And on top of it, there's all these little stones, almost like it's being balanced. And it's blocked off from people going there because it's supposedly dangerous. But man, you know how much this thing is, like multiple buses in weight. And it looks like it's been manipulated into place and then wedged up so that what I think it could be pushed off, you know, in case of an invasion. That is crazy. Oh, we keep going up. You can see these drip lines everywhere. These drip lines are everywhere. Now, as I'm climbing, you can see behind me, that's the western part, the water garden area, right? That's what they say is the entrance for King Kashyapa and everyone to come in. But the crazy thing, you know, with most of these ancient structures, when I research them, they're all aligned ridiculously accurately to stars or the sun, some sort of significant solstice moment. Turns out this place, because that's the western side, it's off the east-west axis by like 9 degrees. which is strange because everything else that they do here is so perfect. And all of these sites are pretty much spot on. Makes you wonder why they couldn't get it perfect. Well, 9 degrees off east-west axis. At this point right here, this is exactly, which is crazy. I've never heard anyone mention this, but it's exactly the zenith alignment, which is the time of the year when the sun is directly 90 degrees above this monument. And this whole structure, this whole city layout is aligned perfectly with that, so that it passes over 90 degrees over this place. Why is that significant? Well, the zenith day, there's the drip line working right now. See how the water's falling straight off it? The zenith day is supposedly, in this part of the world, this part of Buddhism, in this area, that just so happens to be the day where they celebrate Buddha's birth, Buddha's enlightenment, and then Buddha's death. All on that, like, zenith solstice day, the sun alignment day, which is crazy. The fact that they knew that and were able to build this is almost like a bit of a honor for Buddha, you know? You could imagine the prayers and stuff that happened here, the significance of this site for Buddhist monks on that day. That's mad. That is mad. Here's obviously the lion's claws, which is weird because lions have 4 claws. I don't think these are actually carved. It's hard to know because you can see bricks, like there's bricks at the bottom with almost like a render. You can see bricks here. So, not too sure. Like, it looks like straight granite right there, but yeah, not sure whether they're actually carved out of the rock itself or if it's bricked and then kind of plastered over. There's a small claw there. Most people miss it. Tiny little 4th claw, because it's called lion's rock, but lions have 4 big claws, and there's only 3 here with a really small one at the back, which is strange. Most like animals like this, the small claw is usually on the inside. It's like a thumb, you know, but yeah, on the outside of the foot. And that's where the head would have been. Like Asia's Great Sphinx. Crazy, man. Crazy as. Massive. These things are massive. Yeah, see that little one? Most people miss it. Little claw tucked away in the back. This sort of ties into the more mythical aspect of Sigiriya. Like Garuda, if you've heard of the Garuda bird, the mythical bird. People say that it, you know, they almost resemble that as well. Have a look around here. I mean, these would assist you if you were trying to climb up. I get that point. These grooves. It's like stairs, checkouts. The amount of effort to do this, man. Like, the amount of effort to do this on granite rock is crazy. We use tungsten carbide chisels. Or if you're going to use steel chisels, you're sharpening them all the time just to basically take a bit of dust off granite. The tungsten carbide chisels that we use, or diamond tipped chisels, they weren't invented until like the 1800s, so 1,000 years after this was built. 1,000 years after all. Oh, there's honey, there's bee nests. Cool. 1,000 years after all of this was built. So, how did they carve granite back in the day, man? Just so precise carvings too. Like, what's the point of that? The amount of effort that would take. I don't get it. What do you reckon? What do you reckon they were for? Where is that going? That's just a straight up cliff. All right, let's go up, hey? What a spot. It's super weird. Lions have, you look up lions' paws, lions have 4 claws, 4 big claws. There's more of the white marble stairs, or slabs. They're like huge sleepers. 1.8, 2 meters long by bloody 200 mil thick. Where do they get the marble from? There's no marble, no white marble mines around here. 1500 to 2000 years ago. There's more of them. There's actually a drill hole right there, huge crevice, boop, right in there. And then more of these checkouts. Wild, bro. It's almost like this is where the pathway would have been. There's a drill hole right there. Right there. Almost like this is where, here or here, is where the pathway would have been, like if I was to guess. Because you got the perfect overhang to kind of protect you from the drip, right? And then there's a huge checkout right there, the beep, that one, to support a platform or something. Whoa, wow, we've got a long way up. How is it up there? You been up?
Yeah, it's good.
It's cool. Is it windy?
Not
Not
too
really.
bad.
Okay.
Not really.
It's cloudy.
Yeah, not much of a view, huh?
See
No,
the
we didn't see
sunrise.
the sun.
Yeah, true. See ya. Wow. What a setup. Ah. The old stairs down there, eh? Wow. And that's the opposing rock over there, which you can see with the drone. Almost looks like a pyramid. I'm not a big fan of heights, bro. Not gonna lie. Look at these checkouts, man. Look at that. What are you talking about? Dude, the amount of effort to do that. Are you joking? Look at it, it's almost like there's no chisel marks at all. So weird. I wonder if that would be to slow down water as it runs down the cliff, you know? Slow down the pace of the water. I'm not sure what else those channels would, what purpose they would serve. Wow. Crazy, man. There is still murals and paintings somewhere. They're supposedly protected by wow, I'm all wet. Look, I did ride here through the rain this morning. Not far, only like 10 minutes or so, but I got drenched. It's about 6:47 a.m. right now, so it's early. Whoa. Oh, well, that's just a foundation for something, huh? That's definitely a support for something. Look at that. Look at the size of that. That's crazy, man. 150 mil deep, 350 wide, by like 2.5 meters high. Wow, what an effort. Wow. Pretty impressive for primitive peoples. I think you guys know what I think about these ancient places by now. Am I going the right way? I think so. Sketch. Full sketch. I believe that they definitely had more than just what we say they had, which was, you know, hammers and chisels. I think they were pretty in tune with things like frequencies and frequency manipulation. The more of these ancient sites you see, it's just like, what are you talking about? You'll see more in India soon. Gonna head across to there. Yeah, look at all these carvings. Wild, man. All these channels everywhere. This is hectic. This is so high. Yeah, what a weird shape. It looks like a pyramid. So that's the eastern part of the monument. Nothing, no archaeological work done. Wild, huh? I think that rough line you can see, that rough line is kind of the moat. That's like the outside perimeter. The moat's huge. The moat's massive. We're taught like the same size as the most impressive medieval castles. Huge moat. Like you could put a boat in there and drive around it. You'll see it after. All the clay bricks. Some 3 million clay bricks up here. Crazy. But you know how heavy these are? These suckers would weigh a ton. Wow. Wow. We made it. There's dogs up here. Man. The rumors about this place too, because of some of the paintings. I'm not sure if we'll see them. I can put them into the video. Some beautiful paintings of people back in the day. Beautiful female anatomy. You know what I'm saying? So sort of gets the rumor of King Kashyapa's love palace. Which is crazy. Imagine having that. This is where you come to take ladies. Come on ladies, come back to the crib. Just in the mountain, the ancient skyscraper. That's crazy. Let's go down and have a look at this water tank. There's so much to see here, man. But I'm excited to go back down because the whole grounds area, like I said, covered in stuff. And I want to show you the moat. The moat is madness. Yeah, we're like, you know, how much effort it is to bring all these clay bricks up. 3-4 million bricks. If you know where the white marble might have came from, let me know. All of this polished white marble. Crazy. Largest granite water tank. I'm not sure if it's this side. There's a few water tanks up here at the very top. Crazy, man. What are the odds that this place just ended up flat on the top of it, you know? Super weird. Like, it's so perfect for like an old civilization to live up here. Great floods, all of that kind of stuff. You'd be untouchable up here. Wow, what a view. I love it with the clouds. I reckon it makes it way cooler, more mystical. Dude, that is massive. Oh my god, that is way bigger than videos and stuff that I've seen make that. That's like an Olympic swimming pool, bro. What are you talking about? My god. And how did they carve this? This is solid granite. Solid granite. I think it's like 90 feet by, like, it's huge. That's like, what's that? It looks like 25, 30 meters by 15. That's wild. Some 3,500 tons, I believe. 3,500 tons of, I did the volume calculations before I came. 3,500 tons of rock removed from there. Solid granite, man. Wow, that looks fantastic. That looks amazing right now. What a place, bro. If this was actually his love palace, that is crazy. That is crazy. That's got to be most goated love palace in the world. Wow, man. And this tank is connected to irrigation, of course, so it doesn't overflow. We just had monsoons, we just had Sri Lanka just got destroyed by floods and stuff. It doesn't overflow, and it also never runs out of water. Pretty wild in terms of water management, you know, knowledge for back then. That's unbelievable. Kind of looks like a step pyramid that you see, like the Aztecs, what they were building in, you know, like Mexico region. What's that? That like Sanskrit? That's a carving. Huh. That's cool. Very random. I would love to take a brick, but I'm not going to take a whole brick down. There's nothing like this in the world. Like, where else in the world is there an ancient sky palace, an ancient sky city, the original skyscraper? Where else is this? You know, like they've in Greece, Mount Athos. You know, like that's there, built on top of the cliffs, but just incredible, man. It does seem a bit strange to me that it's a palace, even though this is huge, right? There's tons and tons of rooms, so you could have servant rooms and stuff, but I don't know, it's not like it's really that huge. It kind of looks more like a, you know, like a step pyramid to me, similar to what the Aztecs were doing. It's just a very weird set out for a palace. It just all progressively goes up, and it's like the rooms would have been really small. I just think that, like, there was the Buddhist caves that they found with Buddhist paintings around the base of this rock go back as to when Buddhism first came to Sri Lanka, 3,000-ish years ago, from the children of King Ashoka from India. So yeah, it just makes no sense to me why they wouldn't have come up here, man. Why would you not want to build a temple at the top of the mountain? You know? So I reckon this probably would have been some sort of temple before, almost like a stupa, right? Some kind of stupa thing. And then King Kashyapa just revamped it into a palace. That would make more sense, because they would have had a few thousand years to make this area livable before King Kashyapa came and made it his home. So incredible. What an incredible sight, man. Huh. Not really carved though, more built out of bricks. What a landscape, man. Something about Sri Lanka is very, very mythical, you know? Like, look at the jungle. There's stuff everywhere. I keep stopping every couple minutes. How weird is this? Such a strange carving. 3 sort of prongs in the middle. It almost looks like something's missing, you know, like you clip a plate in and then it locks in because of the 3 checkouts. But yeah, man, just weird. Like, what could have this been for? The amount of time this would have taken just to do that. These like seem like steps, you know? It seems kind of obvious that there'd be steps, but they lead to nowhere. There's so many of them that go to nowhere. They just go up to nothing. But that definitely could have been a thing. It definitely could have been steps. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. There's all notches. I didn't see that. Notches in the, like right there, in the marble. That's so weird, man. There's some theories. There's a guy called Praveen Mohan, an Indian guy. Legendary with these ancient sites. He was talking about how on some of these boulders down here, we can't see them right now, but some of the boulders, like what I showed you at the start, are covered in this. And he was sort of suggesting that maybe you could have placed like a mirror-like object or some sort of crystal into the stone, and at certain times of the year, which he never mentioned the zenith, but yeah, I just sort of found that connection by looking at the alignment. You imagine during the zenith days, they're also called the hottest days of the year, when the sun's perfectly 90 degrees, no shadow. Imagine the reflections. It'd almost be like an ancient light show, you know? But then that could also act as a defensive mechanism, because there's like invading armies would get hit by crazy reflections of light if they're trying to invade. Just an idea. There's one of those channels, which would be irrigation, water management. But there's another one right there too, like 2 or 3 of them back to back. That's a lot of effort, you know. Or if they had just carved it really small, but then for water to erode that at that depth, we're talking 20,000 years or more, which I do think these monuments are a lot older than what we say. But yeah, for erosion at that level, you're talking thousands and thousands of years of erosion. But like, how weird's that too? Anyway, we'll go keep going down. Crazy, man. What a channel to make. What a channel to make, man. Into granite. It goes the whole way. What is the point of that? And then there's a new one starts there. So weird. There's water running down that one. Hectic. Sorry.
It's alright.
So strange. And there's these huge reservoirs here. Some of the biggest well, the biggest in the ancient world. There's reservoirs, I'm not sure if that's one, but there's a couple of big reservoirs that supported the entire like old city and the whole area around it with their rice production and stuff. They're huge, like they are massive. That's famously where King Kashyapa, his dad, got like locked in a room right near one of those reservoirs. So whether that was all of this water just like fed to that, I'm not sure. It's a massive effort, but if you're preparing for huge dry seasons, you would understand it. You wanted to store so much water. Wow, this is crazy. Shortcut. There's a carving here too. What is the point? It's so weird. See, this debunks the step theory, right? How could they be used as steps? It's inverted. So we just debunked my own theory. They can't be used as steps if the rock is like that, because you just fall straight off. Even if you're trying to hang off the rock, you can't. Your body will naturally swing out. The western park, the western part of it. The cool thing is there's a Buddhist statue, a huge statue of Buddha, I would presume. I can't see it from here, but I would say that's Buddha. That Buddhist statue looks like, if you stood in the middle here, it looks like it would be perfectly center of the western middle point of the park. Which is wild, because that's all, which is weird, because then look in the distance there.
Yeah, we can do it.
See those hills? They're like that. That's exactly the zenith date. That's the zenith alignment as the sun comes straight up perfectly over the top of this. What a crazy setup. It was called the mirror wall. Back in the day, it was perfectly polished. Hey, brother. And supposedly King Kashyapa could see his own reflection in the mirror wall as he walked up. Polished plaster, like a mirror. And over time, as people came here, like pilgrims, Buddhist pilgrims, some of them left their own inscriptions on the wall. There's some old Sanskrit inscriptions that speak about weird things. So yeah, it became kind of like a, look at all the engravements, right? Everywhere, the whole actual wall you can see is etched with people's names in it. Oh, we're back down the bottom now. The same thing here. All of these grooves everywhere. Like, what is the purpose of all of that? Channel here, channel here. All of the boulders have it. Wow. Look at the checkout here. Like a huge slab's kind of been cut out. It's so weird because these are down the bottom. Like there's nothing going on here. And they've spent so much time making these massive channels. They almost look like scoop marks, you know? Like you could scoop it out of the rock. With more of these huge squares and rectangles cut out. So strange. Wow. Wow, that's part of this rock. This whole boulder's snapped in half. Split in half, fallen over. Look at that. And then they've carved like a little monastery or something. Audience hall. That's unreal. And a cave underneath. Wow. That's wild. And more of these drip lines. What a random thing to do. Just seems like just the most mind-bendingly complex amount of effort just to leave your marks in the rock. And for what purpose? Let's make our way down and check out the moat. Strange. What's the point? Man, there is just stuff everywhere to check out. Every little corner, there's something strange. Wow. Split the rock in half. There's some very, very faint paintings right there. There's one there. That looks a more modern one, but yeah, like they chip all the rock away and plaster the wall with something. And then they leave their paintings, exact same paintings that are in the top caves, with the more modern finished ones. And there's one of them right there. These are the rocks you can see from the top of Sigiriya. Just covered, absolutely covered in stuff. So random, huh? That's got some sort of carving in it. There's stuff everywhere here, just like underneath the mud and the water. Wild.
The secret box, they have 4 compartments, 4 rooms. This 4 room you can open. This 2 door coming out this way. This 2 door going out other way.
Wow, so it's a secret compartment.
Yes. And other side they have 2 animals. 1 head.
Ah.
You can see elephant.
Yeah.
And water buffalo.
Ah, wow.
1 head, 2 animals.
Did you make this?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There are 6 families we make these things.
Wait, so I have to work out how to open it, eh?
It's the same period technique. This is rosewood. Just follow the line.
I feel bad, I don't want to...
No, break it. You have sliding.
Ah.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, okay. So that one would be opposite?
Up. Yes. Up.
Uh-huh. And then down?
Down.
Yes, nice.
Yes. Down. Now you can open.
Ah, wow. Ah, wow.
And other.
What a design. How much are these?
This one 12,000 rupees.
Okay.
It's a rosewood.
Yeah. Wow, that was cool.
This one also you can open.
I'm surprised that I got it. Ah, you can open that one too.
Yes.
That's cool. They have a hydraulic water system, bro. What are you talking about? Look at that. That's a drain that goes somewhere. All still completely functional today. You know how wild that is? Look at that. How incredible is that? How crazy is that? Filtering all the water from everywhere. So you get these beautiful water baths. It's like an ancient water park. The size of these baths are absolutely massive. And they're everywhere. It's sort of the first layer of defense. How are you, mate? The first layer of defense was second layer if you make it in through the moat. All of these different pools, if they flooded this place and made it look like a flooded plain, like that when you're trying to attack, you wouldn't know, but some of them are, 2-3 meters deep. So if you're on cavalry, you'd have a hard time trying to get in. The size of the ponds, man. Like, these are huge, guys. You could have you could put a stand-up jet ski in there and you could actually have a little bit of fun on a stand-up jet ski. It's how big it is. Very, very strange layout. There's a monkey. How's this for like an ancient site, dude? I'm on the edge of it, riding around. This is how I came into here this morning. Monkeys in the forest. I just rode my bike along the moat. This is the moat. That's a big lad. How's it going, mate? Look at the size of this moat, man. So this is the very outer perimeter wall. Wow, what a place, dude. So cool, huh? This was a journey on this bike. Sri Lanka doesn't have many good bikes. They have like a 250cc max on bikes, so you can't get anything good. It's a journey. Riding like from Colombo 4 or 5 hours up to here. It is a boring ride. There's also a wall there. There's another outer wall. You'll see the size of the moat when we get to this corner. But look at the size of this moat. The moat is crazy. Just this in itself is like an engineering marvel. And you can see it from the air, like how symmetrical this place is, this huge rectangle. What an impressive place, huh? This blows my mind. This is the back, like one of the side back parts of one of the complex. I'm technically inside the moat. Like there's the moat. We're technically kind of inside the complex now. It's just so open because it's so vast and so large, and they don't really have anyone monitoring it. It's just open, man. Let's see if we can see anything cool. Any ruins. Yeah, through the forest is Sigiriya, right there. Wow. How's the trees down here? Well, that's it. That's Sigiriya, the ancient city, the ancient palace in the sky. Hope you enjoyed that.